Hello, listeners, and welcome to today's Cult News. I'm your speaker, Casey, host of the Cult Vault podcast, and today I'm going to be giving you an overview of a movement known as Breatharianism, as it has popped up in the news lately and is widely considered a controversial and dangerous movement. So let's get into it. According to a 2014 Vice article, Breatharianism is the American movement founded by Wiley Brooks in the 1980s. That believes humans can live just fine by replacing food with sun and the passive inhalation of cosmic microdust. In an interview with Vice, Brooks made this statement. "Hi Wiley, I heard you mention having a few past lives." Wiley Brooks. "The only reason why I'm alive today is because I came into the world with a lot of knowledge about what to do. Because I'm continuing a process that was started with Christ and before that. One of my past lives, if you'll notice, was John the Baptist." According to online sources, Wiley Brooks is a controversial figure who claims to be a spiritual teacher and a practitioner of a dietary philosophy known as Breatharianism. Breatharianism is the belief that humans can live without food or water and instead obtain all the nutrients they need from the air and sunlight. Wiley Brooks was born in the United States in the 1930s and became involved in alternative health practices in the 1970s. Which we know by this point was not uncommon in America and other parts of the world at this time in history. He began promoting breatharianism in the 1980s, claiming that he had not eaten any solid food for over a decade and subsisted only on air and sunlight. The public became aware of Brooks and his teachings during an appearance on the TV show That's Incredible. The 1980s was a pivotal time for body image and commercialization, leading many celebrities to buy into the practice of breatharianism, endorsing the practices of starvation and extreme fasting. In 1982, the first Breatharian Institute opened in California. Because, of course, California. Brooks has faced significant criticism and skepticism from the medical and scientific communities, as well as from many members of the general public. Experts have pointed out that it is simply not possible for humans to survive without food and water, and that Brooks's claims are not supported by any scientific evidence. Despite this criticism, Brooks continued to promote his beliefs and even established a number of breatharian centers in the United States and other countries. However, it is important to note that there have been numerous reports of individuals attempting to live on the breatharian diet and suffering serious health consequences as a result, including starvation and dehydration. The practices make a sort of comeback into fringe spaces during high rates of eating disorders. Strangely, Brooks was caught in 1983, leaving a Santa Cruz 7-Eleven with a Slurpee, a hot dog, and some Twinkies, and followers would be sent into uproar when Brooks was caught eating McDonald's. He then went on to explain how McDonald's food contained 5D properties and that followers were now encouraged to eat McDonald's. The reason this movement has been in the news again recently is because actress Michelle Pfeiffer turned 65 this week and sat down with the Hollywood Reporter to talk about her own involvement in the breatharian movement. According to the Daily Star, the 20-year-old wannabe actress admitted that she was coerced by a very controlling couple who practiced breatharianism. The article states, Michelle, who turned 65 on Saturday, told the Hollywood Reporter, quote, "There was a lot of mind-fucking and brainwashing." The Scarface star was even told that food was more addictive than heroin and that it was possible to live forever from energy or prana in the air and sun's rays. She told The Times, quote, "I wasn't living with them, but I was there a lot and they were always telling me I needed to come for more. I had to pay all of the time I was there, so it was financially very draining." Interestingly, it was when Pfeiffer began dating Peter Horton that she realized something was wrong. During Horton's involvement with a project titled Serial, released in 1980, Horton sat down with a Cult deprogrammer to discuss the Unification Church and the Moonies, as this group was a core part of the Serial comedy movie about New Age temptations and struggling marriages. It turns out that the Cult deprogrammer was actually a former Moonie themselves, so I wonder who that could have been. During Horton's sessions with the deprogrammer, where Pfeiffer was invited to spectate, she realized in that moment she was in a cult. She explained it was like a light bulb going off. Wiley Brooks died in 2016 and basically went into hiding leading up to his demise, explaining how he needed to step down from teaching to devote 100% of his time to solving the problem as to why he needed to eat some type of food to keep his physical body alive and allow his light body to manifest completely. Brooks claims to have found 4 major deterrents which prevented him from living without food, and those were people pollution, food pollution, air pollution, and electropollution. So that is a very brief overview of breatharianism and its founder, who claimed he didn't need to eat but was repeatedly caught eating. Join me tomorrow for more cult news. I'm your speaker, Casey, host of the Cult Vault podcast.